The Los Angeles Clippers have absolutely aced the offseason. They have reunited with Chris Paul, who played all 82 games for the Spurs last season, and he was a top 10 assist man at 7.4 per game. Of course, he is older now, but when you look at what the Clippers needed, the final piece that they needed more ball handling help, particularly to aid James Harden. And the Clippers, they just added Bradley Beal, Brook Lopez, and Chris Paul for $18 million total in year one salaries. That is unbelievable. Yes, Chris Paul and Brook Lopez are older, but you're going to have Paul and Lopez running your pick and roll in your second unit. That's good to me. And then you got Bradley Beal along with John Collins rounding out your starting five. The Clippers have absolutely crushed the offseason. They addressed their weaknesses, got a backup big, got more ball handling help, got a true power forward. And this is a team that had already won 50 games with their best player in Kawhi missing most of the year. Of course, it all comes down to Kawhi and Harden, but this roster as is, it is good enough to go out there and win a championship. Collectively, the Clippers, they add Brook Lopez, add John Collins, add Bradley Beal and Chris Paul, and then their subtractions, Powell, Eubanks, Mills, Simmons, and Coffey. That's a very damn good trade-off, if you ask me. I'm going to talk about the Los Angeles Clippers. Do me a solid, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new. We're on the road to 50K, guys. Smash that subscribe button and help the channel continue to grow. It is greatly appreciated. So, of course, when you look at this roster, it is an older roster. A lot of people have thrown their jokes in there. This is the unction, all that. But you can't sit there and say this roster is not absolutely talented and deep. I mean, the Clippers, they got a legitimate deep 10-man rotation that is going to have a real chance to compete in a loaded Western Conference. Of course, it all comes down to health. But right now, this whole team is healthy going into the season. And they are going to be in a great position when it comes to being competitive and contending in the West. The Clippers, they won 26-11 last season when James Harden and Kawhi Leonard played together. That's a 70% win percentage and a 58 win pace, despite Kawhi joining the team mid-season as he was ramping up from that ACL injury. And then the Clippers, once they were fully intact, they went on an 18-3 stretch to finish the season. So this was an already really good team, a team that was solid on the defensive end, and they only just got better with their acquisitions. Bringing in Brook Lopez allows the Clippers to have depth behind Zubac. He's a great shooting center, great rim protector that they're going to have from off the bench. And then John Collins, I know they had to trade Norman Powell, but they weren't going to extend Powell anyway. And John Collins, he's going to be a perfect fit in the starting five because now he's going to allow the Clippers to not have to start Kawhi at the 4. Collins slides in nicely there. Kawhi goes to his more natural position of the 3. And the Clippers, they ranked 23rd in rebounds per game last season. And they were dominated in that playoff series against the Nuggets by Aaron Gordon on both ends. Now you got a big body in John Collins who can match up against a guy like Aaron Gordon. And also, he's just going to be great around the rim, especially playing alongside James Harden, who's going to get him all those easy looks and lobs. And then Bradley Beal, they don't need Beal to be like this elite player. They just need Beal to do his thing and be really like an average player. So if Beal can provide like 15 to 16 points per game, I think that's all they need, the Clippers do, to help alleviate some of that offensive load off, James Harden and Kawhi Leonard. And then finally, the Clippers, they addressed their backup point guard issue. That was a major flaw. And Chris Paul is going to solve that issue. He's not going to play every single game, but James Harden was logging a lot of minutes. And now I think he's going to love having the luxury of not having to play so many minutes because Paul can come in and run the offense. So you look at what the Clippers did. They weren't expected to do much. They absolutely addressed all of their weaknesses. They filled their holes. And now, like top to bottom, this team has every aspect covered. And this is a team that has improved. It has gotten better. Yes, they're older, but you're looking at the team they're carrying on out. You can't find too many teams in the NBA right now that are as complete as this Clippers team. I mean, the Clippers might be the most complete team, top to bottom, of James Harden, Beal, Kawhi, Collins, Zubats, Chris Paul, Dunn, Derrick Jones Jr., Batum, Brook Lopez. I haven't even mentioned Bogdanovich, who would, be an 11th man that the Clippers can play here. So it all comes down to health. I get it. But the Clippers, they did improve greatly this offseason when people thought there was no pathway of doing so. They made great additions along the margins. And the biggest thing the Clippers accomplished, which is why they just outsmarted the entire NBA, is they've put themselves in a competitive situation where they can go out there for this season and next and try to win a title, and their future is not hindered in any way. They have 2 years left of this Kawhi and Harden core, and both of those players are going to come off the books through 2027, and the Clippers, they are positioned to have max cap space for a fresh start on a new era if they decide to do just that. So they got the best of both worlds here. You got a chance, the Clippers do, to go win a title, and then they can just hit the reset button and get some big time free agents in a few years because they are not going to be tied down financially. And remember, people wanted the Clippers to overpay George like the Sixers did. But that decision in hindsight looks absolutely brilliant because the Clippers, they weren't going to give Paul George that lucrative deal. They replaced him for the short term with Powell, which ended up being a great upgrade. And now in turn, they have Collins and the other pieces that they were able to acquire this offseason. This team looks to be in its best shape and in their best position since Kawhi Leonard arrived in LA. Like, this is the best team Kawhi has had. So just an absolutely masterclass of a job by this front office. It stems back from not overpaying Paul George, making the right move there, this team flourishing, and now they got even better. And their future is not hindered in any way. So you talk about securing a chance to win now and for the future. Not too many teams can say that. The Clippers have done a phenomenal job. And this is a team that have been well run over the last couple of years. Really over a large period of time. People laugh at the Clippers for their shortcomings in the playoffs. But this is a consistent above 500 playoff team. And this team is always right there. Again, it's going to come down to some lucky breaks and health being on their side. But I really like this team and how they stack up in the West. This could be a top 3, top 4 team in the West. The Clippers, they look good. They've made the right moves. Now, of course, it's about showing the results. Can this team go on a deep playoff run and show that they can win a championship together? Let me know your thoughts, guys, on this Clippers team and how they look right now. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. That is it for me. It's Luke signing off. Thanks so much for watching. I will catch you all again in the next one.